Okay, we're still talking about ratios, but we're just going to present them in a little bit of a different way. This way is through a word problem, not with shapes. So our problem is, Taylor wants to make muffins. Her recipe calls for 5 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar. What is the ratio of cups of flour to cups of sugar? Find an equivalent ratio as well. So we're going to go through the same process that we did in the other examples. This is just in a different setting. So we look at our first quantity, which in this case is cups of flour. So we look at the number of the cups of flour, and in this case they tell you it's 5. And our second quantity is cups of sugar, so we do the same thing and we find it in the problem, and that is 2. So our ratio of cups of flour to cups of sugar is 5 to 2. To find an equivalent ratio, we will multiply by the same number on both sides. So let's just pick a number, and let's say we'll multiply by 3. So an equivalent ratio could be 15, because 5 times 3 is 15, and 2 times 3 is 6. So an equivalent ratio will be 15 to 6.
Okay, in this example, we are given one ratio, and it's asking if the ratio is an equivalent ratio of this. So it says, is 5 to 9 an equivalent ratio of 10 to 18? So what we do is we have 10 to 18. And this is kind of a trial and error type thing. So obviously it's going to be division to get to 5 to 9. So what could we divide by to get 5 over 9? Well, it kind of looks like if you divide by 2, that would give you maybe the result. So let's try that. So 10 divided by 2, and then 18 divided by 2. So that would give you 5 over 9, which is an equivalent ratio. So therefore, 5 to 9 is an equivalent ratio of 10 to 18. Yes.
Our next example is another word problem. And our word problem says, my pet zebra has 12 baby zebras. My friend's pet elephant has 7 baby elephants. What is the ratio of baby zebras to baby elephants? So in this case, our first quantity are the baby zebras. So we look for the number of the baby zebras, which is 12. So we'll write down a 12. Our second quantity are the baby elephants. So we look for that number 2, and that number is 7. So our ratio of baby zebras to baby elephants is 12 to 7. Next, we're going to find an equivalent ratio for this ratio. And we can do this by multiplying both sides by the same number. So let's just say we can multiply both sides by 10. So 12 times 10 is 120, and 7 times 10 is 70. So one equivalent ratio would be 120 to 70.